No, it's late and past your bedtime, so you will not see this until sometime tomorrow. I just, well, I've kind of been in a shitty mood all day, like snapping, but not exactly crampy, it's like, PMS thing. Anyway, whatever. Yesterday, I talked about my sister a lot in therapy. When I came home, I talked about my sister a lot with Paul, and I got myself worked up, like way more than in therapy, probably because he's not a therapist and he irritated me. I mean, he didn't say anything terrible, but a little bit, maybe, the vibe of, are you sure this is like really the end? And I got really mad, and I was like, you did not grow up in a household like mine, and you have no idea what it was like, and you cannot judge my decisions. And I'm 44 years old, and it's taken me a long time to really connect the dots of all the bullshit and other things I haven't probably I don't remember, or just hasn't connected yet. Like, oh, that. Anyway. And even today I grabbed a diary that I have read in the past few months. And I was just, I don't know, I do this sometimes, and I flipped open a page, and there's a lot of shit about my dad being like drunk and screaming at me, and my mother like being like, come down to dinner, and like after he'd screamed at me. That's not Caroline's fault, but she was this pineapple princess, and I was this dumping ground. Don't want Paul to enter. Sorry to be barely talking. I want to talk loud, but I feel like I can't. Anyway, he and I have not spoken about it at all today, and just haven't. Not like I deliberately didn't. It just, and she's on my mind on and off. I did start to feel a little obsessed. Like, when is she gonna text me? Like kind of like in the weak position. But then again, I told her I needed space and to wait, and so she hasn't really aggressively tried to violate that. So I guess she's trying to, respect that. So why would she contact me? But maybe I want to fight. I don't know. I guess this feels like limbo. It's totally unresolved. But my therapist thinks it's good to just take it one text at a time, and keep a cool head and maintain boundaries and that stuff. But I want to fight. But I would lose the fight, even though I'm right. I'm not the master that she is, and I'm pretty good. She's a master, so I could win a text fight. I think her writing has gone way downhill. I don't know why. So she's prone to saying like cheesy melodramatic things, and I'm good at being cool and crisp. But verbally, I know she would crush me. Or she would totally be a victim and sad. You're bullying me, or you're keeping Poppy from me. Anyway, the real reason that I decided to do this vlog is just, we're cleaning up the house for Rochelle to come tomorrow. Oh my God, I hate that. I mean, not cleaning up the house, but the rush for Rochelle and the morning rush. But I was like, I don't fucking have my sister pay for this. This has to stop. But Paul and I were talking about how we will need her services or someone's services. Why not her? When we're getting ready to like put the house on the market, like just getting it looking really good, like cleaning the fridge or like, you know, just doing like deep cleaning that we're incapable of. And I wonder if we could let her go and be like, but in the next few months, like we could use you again for some bigger jobs that we would pay more for or something like that, because I don't want my sister paying for this. So that was my first thought. I'm like doing my chores now to clean up. And then I took a little break and sat down because I was winded. And then I began reflecting on my sister, and I'm like, is she that bad? You know, is it worth a cutting off of relations? And how did I get to this point? Like, maybe I should just keep my distance and like really not accept invitations or invite her here and just be aloof and then move to Oregon. Like, I'm sure that's what Paul thinks I should do, and maybe that's a more sensible tactic, but I have rage. I have rage at the shit that she's done over the years, and I want to punish her. It's not, yeah, I do want to punish her, and I want nothing to do with her. It's like, I would never have this person as a friend, and the only friends that I want in my life, or close people in my life, are honorable people that are, you know, not perfect. No one's perfect, but not duplicitous, sleazy, two-faced. I guess that's what duplicitous means. Just manipulative, narcissistic. I don't want that in my life, so I don't want her in my life. And okay, so I'm like having this reflection, and I'm like, I was like, I don't know, I wandered into the past, the way past. Well, first I wandered into the medium past and present, which is, if she touches me, I recoil. And this has been going on for a long time. Years and years, I mean, since high school. And she has this weird way, it's not sexual, but it's a little bit intimate. Like she might, you can see my whole arm. Like she might be telling a funny story and then just place her hand on my arm softly, and or my leg, you know. And I guess like with some people and some relationships, that would be fine. Like, I feel like you and I might do that, and it would be okay, or I don't know if we even do, but the thought of you putting your hand on my arm doesn't make me like recoil. I mean, really recoil and like get away. And she never notices that. So I was like, what the fuck is that about? Like that extreme body instinctive reaction. And and then the other thing I thought of was when I was a teenager or a young adult, she said, I know you hate me, but I have always loved you. And I didn't hate her. I mean, I guess I was a snarky teenager, you know. I wasn't that mean to her. I mean, in fact, every time she had like a heartbreak with a boyfriend or something, I was always there for her. And we'd get into fights, and would fight. So I would get angry. I showed anger more than I ever would now. But I don't think, if you were my older sister, you would think that I hated you. So, I know you hate me, but I've always loved you. And it's like, that's some kind of admission of, you should hate me because of something bad that I did. That statement is always like, over the years, that statement always comes back to me as like creepy and weird. And I could never comprehend it. Like, why? And at the time, I was just like, you, like, I couldn't, probe or dissect that with her or, in my own mind. But it stuck with me. And then the recoiling at her touch and her buying me off with so much money, like, or not, she doesn't hand us out cash a lot, but you know how she is with us with treats and money. And she's also like that with Jacqueline, maybe even more so, more regularly, semi-supporting them. Anyway, and then so easily seeing me as a mental patient that she created. What do you think of that? I think there's darkness there. And I have this, was I talking about in therapy or with you? My memory of being in my crib and her, there was a party going on downstairs and she was looking at me over the crib. And like in that memory, I don't know if it was before she did that or after, but I was smearing my poo on the wall and I remember screaming and screaming and her like just standing over me like, what's wrong? I mean, when I think of her molesting me, I think of that memory. But maybe that was just a chaotic scene. Like my parents were gone. There was this crazy teenage party going on, and she was like inadequately trying to help, and I was upset and did the poo thing. Like maybe that's all it was. But so like even putting that aside, I've always loved you. You hate me. I know you hate me, but I've always loved you. And recoiling from her touch and all the money and all the weirdness and her inability. I mean, everything bad about her. Yeah, I feel okay with her being around Poppy, or have been. Beast is my only worry I have about her going there. And I don't see my sister as a pedophile, but there could have been some kind of real fucked up. I'm not a trained, licensed mental health professional, but maybe in families, there's an inner family, like, very wrong dynamic where sexual things might happen to minors. I mean, she's 16 years older than I am. But that out in the world, she wouldn't be. Is that, like, possible? It doesn't seem possible with male men, daddy, and son or daughter. Like, that seems, I don't know. And I still ponder, like, the daddy and my daddy and her. Like, I totally remember him as a fucking asshole. It's not like I have a sentimental view of him at all. But, like, the concept of them, like, ooh, it's, like, mind-blowing. And, okay, but my final thoughts are, do you see the darkness in the thing that I said is dark, in that triangle of her comment, my skin, my flesh utterly recoiling, and all the money being thrown at me through the years? That's really what I want you to think about, and tell me what you think. Thank you. Good night.